There is a garden where nothing would grow, though the soil was rich and the sun was kind. Each morning the man returned, watering more, planting more, speaking affirmations to the earth. Still, no bloom. One day he stopped. No water, no words. He sat with the soil, let go of needing a result, and rested in silence. And in that stillness, not through effort, but through coherence, the seeds awakened. Because the earth, like the universe, responds not to pressure, but to presence. Have you ever wondered why, despite all your affirmations, visualizations, and rituals, the reality you desire still feels out of reach? Why it seems the more you try, the further it slips away? You're not doing it wrong, you're simply sending the wrong signal. In this video, you'll discover the single shift that dissolves resistance, clarifies your frequency, and activates the quantum field in silence. It's not about doing more. It's about becoming still enough to be heard. This is where manifestation truly begins. If you're ready to stop chasing and start receiving, to feel the power of your presence rather than your effort, then stay with me. This is the transformation no one taught you, but you've always known was true. A radio playing 3 songs at once becomes static, not music. So too, the modern seeker often floods the field with conflicting intentions. One moment, they speak of wealth and vision. The next, they spiral into fear and doubt. What they believe they are broadcasting is clarity, yet what the universe receives is contradiction. And in the quiet mechanics of creation, confusion cannot be answered with fulfillment. You've been taught to do more affirmations, more rituals, more visualization, in hopes that volume will somehow overpower resistance. But manifestation does not respond to how loudly you speak your desire. It listens to the purity of your frequency. It mirrors your vibration frequency, not your vocabulary. In truth, every extra effort made from fear becomes another layer of static, further drowning out the signal you mean to send. In the practice of silent manifestation, it is not what you say that holds power, but what you are. When your thoughts cry out, "I am abundant," but your breath tightens with lack, the field does not hear abundance. It hears incoherence. When your mind prays for love, but your body braces for rejection, the frequency collapses inward. You are the sender, the message, and the medium. And when these are not in harmony, your desire remains a whisper lost in noise. The quantum field is not ignoring you. It is reflecting you. It does not punish, it mirrors. The moment your thoughts, feelings, and body fall into quantum coherence, the noise settles and the true signal begins to emerge. This is not a matter of doing more, but of doing less with stillness. For once the mirror receives a steady reflection, reality will begin to shape itself accordingly. And that is when we begin to see what coherence truly means. A candle does not burn brighter because you shout at it. It burns steadily when the air around it is still. In the same way, the quantum field does not respond to urgency, pressure, or striving. It responds to coherence, the quiet alignment of your inner world. When your entire being moves as one, your signal becomes irresistible. Many believe that if they just try harder, push more, or focus longer, the universe will finally yield. But this is the illusion of effort-based manifestation. The field is not mechanical. It is not a machine to be hacked. It is vibrational, intelligent, and reflective. The harder you try from lack, the louder your lack becomes. The moment you soften, the signal clears. You are not here to wrestle reality. You are here to harmonize with it. Coherence is the language of creation. When your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors form a single thread, the field hears you with precision. This isn't about performance. It's about presence. The universe mirrors back the signal of wholeness, not scattered desire. The more you force, the more distortion you create. But the moment you embody unity, thought, feeling, action, the field begins to respond without hesitation. This is where vibration frequency becomes more than a phrase. It becomes a lived experience. You are no longer broadcasting effort. You are broadcasting being. In this state, your presence alone is enough. The quantum does not ask for sweat. It asks for stillness. And once you find that frequency, even briefly, reality begins to bend toward you, but only when you truly understand what coherence looks like from within. A tree doesn't grow by willing its branches upward. It grows when its roots, trunk, and crown act as one. In manifestation, your thoughts are the roots, your emotions the trunk, and your body the flowering top. When these three are divided, your energy disperses. When they unite, your signal becomes whole, and the field responds as if it were already done. You may think the right thoughts, but if you feel doubt and your body carries tension, your broadcast is fragmented. The quantum field, which reads your total energetic output, receives those contradictions. This is why results often seem delayed or distorted. It's not that your desire is wrong, it's that the frequency carrying it is scattered. Coherence means your message reaches the field clearly, without distortion or delay. This is not merely a mental game, it's an embodiment practice. If your thoughts say, "I am ready," your emotions must echo that truth, and your nervous system must rest in it. This is how silent manifestation gains power, not through dramatic action, but through subtle unity. Every part of you becomes a single voice saying the same thing, and that is when the mirror of reality shifts. You are not separate from the signal. You are the signal. Alignment is not something you do, it is something you become. When you feel peace, when your posture softens, when your breath slows with knowing, that is the moment the timeline you desire starts to draw near. But coherence must be felt, not just imagined. And the cost of that unity is the release of effort. A flower does not bloom by tugging at its petals. It unfolds in time, in trust, in rhythm with something greater. And so it is with manifestation. The harder you grasp, the further it slips away. What you chase implies separation, and the quantum field hears only this: it is not yet mine. Many believe their effort is a sign of commitment, a badge of worthiness. They visualize longer, affirm louder, repeat rituals with growing intensity, but all from a subtle fear that without effort, they will be left behind. In truth, this striving energy only amplifies their sense of lack. It tells the field, "I don't trust, I don't have, I must do more." And so the field returns more of the same. Trying too hard is a form of mistrust. It stems from the belief that reality must be controlled, pushed, or manipulated into place. But the quantum responds not to control, it responds to energetic alignment. A state of quiet knowing carries far more weight than 1,000 declarations of desire. When you need something too much, your frequency says, "I'm not ready." And the field reflects that unsteadiness with precision. Let go of the belief that pressure creates power. It is not intensity that moves timelines. It is inner certainty. When you stop gripping, the current can carry you. When you stop checking, the form begins to shape. You are not here to fight for your dream. You are here to receive it in stillness. And it begins the moment you understand the difference between effort and becoming. A mirror reflects not what you want to be, but what you are. You can stand before it and wish all day, but it only responds to the image presented. In manifestation, the universe is that mirror. It does not bend to longing, it bends to identity. And the moment you become what you seek, the reflection begins to change. Desire is natural, but becoming is transformational. When you shift from "I want" to "I am," the entire energy of your being changes. This is not pretending. This is embodying. When you wake up and walk, as if the reality you desire already surrounds you, you are no longer chasing, you are transmitting. And the field must reflect back what you consistently radiate. This shift is not loud. It does not need a stage. It happens in the quiet choices. How you breathe, how you sit, how you speak to yourself in the spaces between doing. This is the practice of silent manifestation. Not pushing outward, but cultivating inward. Becoming is the sacred decision to live now as the one who already has, already is, already knows. And in that shift, something invisible begins to rearrange. The world does not change when you demand it. It changes when you dissolve into alignment. The field is not waiting for more effort. It's waiting for your embodiment. The moment you stop acting as the seeker and start living as the fulfilled, a new reality begins to assemble. But to walk that path fully, you must release force itself, and remember that flow was always the secret code. A stream does not force its way to the ocean. It follows the path of least resistance. Its power is not in struggle, but in surrender. In manifestation, the more you push, the more resistance you create. The universe flows not to the most forceful, but to the most aligned. When you stop straining, you step into flow. Force is a signal of doubt. When you strive too hard, the field reads your uncertainty, not your desire. It hears, "I must control this, or it will not happen." And so, what is reflected back is delay, disruption, or silence. True creation happens not through pressure, but through presence. Presence is soft, steady, and quietly magnetic. That is the vibration of truth already lived. To embody a timeline is to rest inside it now. No chase, no push, only resonance. This is where embodiment practice becomes the most powerful tool you own. It is the daily act of inhabiting the emotional and physical posture of your desired life, as if it were already yours, not performing it, but feeling it as natural. That is the shift from effort into alignment. Soften your body, loosen the grip of needing, feel the ease of already being. The quantum field responds to these subtle cues more than it ever will to ritualized effort. And the beauty is, once flow begins, it carries you further than force ever could. But to remain in that current, the nervous system must stabilize. And that is the wisdom we must now remember. A bird may sing a sweet song, but if its wings are trembling, the sky will not carry it far. In manifestation, your nervous system is your wings. It speaks beneath your words, beneath your thoughts. And the quantum listens not to your declarations, but to the quiet rhythm of your internal state. You can affirm success with your mouth, but if your body is tight, anxious, or bracing for failure, the signal is distorted. The field receives your vibration, not your voice. Quantum coherence cannot exist when your nervous system is stuck in survival mode. The subtle tension in your breath, the tightness in your chest, these are the true frequencies you emit. And until they soften, creation cannot flow through you clearly. This is why breath, posture, and stillness are not just practices. They are technologies of alignment. Each time you exhale with presence, each time you pause in calm, you send a message. I am safe, I am ready, I trust. These are not words, they are frequencies. They recalibrate your signal. This is the work of embodiment. Not escape from fear, but regulation through it. Begin noticing the body as your signal tower. How do you carry yourself when you are in trust? What shifts when you pause and breathe with intent? This is not a trick. It is your most ancient power. And once your body harmonizes with your thought and emotion, the signal becomes whole, opening the door to a stillness that does not wait, but quietly creates. A bow, drawn in stillness, is more powerful than one fired in haste. The silence before the note is what gives the music its shape. So too, in manifestation, stillness is not emptiness, it is readiness. It is the space in which your vibration settles into signal, and when that signal is clear, the field begins to respond. Many mistake stillness for doing nothing, but doing nothing is not the same as being attuned. Stillness is not laziness. It is alignment without excess. It is choosing not to scramble, not to push, not to prove. In that space, silent manifestation becomes sacred, not performance, but precision. The signal you emit is quiet, but exact, and that is what draws reality near. This is where true vibration frequency is found, not in noise, but in resonance. Stillness sharpens your field like a tuning fork. The quieter you become, the more accurately you can transmit the frequency of what you desire. This is not passive waiting. It is the active holding of a chosen state, sustained through breath, belief, and body. The still space is where timelines begin to form. So the next time you're tempted to rush, pause instead. Ask yourself, am I acting from coherence or from urgency? Stillness is not delay. It is declaration. It says to the field, I am already aligned. And from this point of sacred stillness, you begin to feel the shift from effort to essence, from trying into simply being. A locked door never opens by pounding harder. It opens when the key turns with quiet certainty. In manifestation, the key is never force. It is a state of being so steady, so coherent, that the door must respond. This is the one silent shift that changes everything, the move from trying to already being. You have been taught to fix, to chase, to strive. But manifestation is not about becoming worthy. It is about remembering that you already are. When you stop fixing and start feeling the end is done, your signal aligns. You don't need more steps. You need more certainty in stillness. That is the unseen posture that causes the scene to move. This is the essence of embodiment practice, not thought alone, but state. To feel wealthy before wealth arrives, to breathe love before a partner appears, to stand in healing before the symptoms leave. In doing this, you tune your field without needing to explain. The quantum doesn't ask for logic, it responds to being. And so the shift is not a performance, it is a remembering. You are not creating a new reality by effort. You are aligning with one that already exists. When you feel it now, live it now, honor it now, the timeline must answer. This is the sacred turn inward. And as you hold this beingness, what happens next is no longer your concern, but your confirmation. So now I ask you, where in your life are you still reaching, pushing, trying, when all that's truly needed is presence? Where are you still whispering lack into the field when you could be radiating quiet certainty? Take a moment, breathe, and notice the frequency you're living in right now. Have you already felt the shift begin? Let me know in the comments. What energy are you choosing to embody today? Your word might just become your signal. If this resonated with you, I invite you to like this video, subscribe, and gently ring the bell, so you'll continue receiving the teachings meant for you, in silence, in stillness, in truth.